How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. My name is Sean Millette, and in today's video we're going to be talking about how to pass the ASVAB. Make sure to leave a like on the video, comment something down below if you have ever taken the ASVAB, give your insight, what you thought about it, what it was like for you. I know a lot of people say that the test is very long, and so yeah, feel free to comment whatever. If you have any questions as well, feel free to drop those down below, and also make sure you subscribe to the channel. I just want to remind everybody that this video is primarily for people looking to join the military or people that are about to join the military or planning on joining the military. Essentially, the ASVAB test is a test that everyone has to take regardless of which branch of the military they are trying to join, and it kind of gives you a couple different scores that helps whatever branch you're trying to get into, let you know what type of jobs you qualify for. So for those that don't know, the ASVAB is basically like an ACT test that you take in high school. I never took the SAT, but maybe that's something similar too. Essentially, it's just a common knowledge test. So you get tested on various different areas such as mathematics, science, problem solving, what else? Reading, writing, grammar probably. So really, it's just kind of a common knowledge test and combining all those things to correlate to different jobs that the military offers you. I feel like this is pretty obvious, but obviously the people that score really high on these tests have access to many more jobs than someone who scores much lower. They just kind of get the baseline, whatever those jobs might be. So there is an incentive to do good on this test, especially if you want a job or two that requires a higher ASVAB score. Those requirements are probably something you should look at beforehand, but you know, at the end of the day, a lot of people go after jobs that they know little to nothing about. They might have watched one small little YouTube video about what that job does and think that that job sounds like the coolest thing in the world. But in reality, there's many awesome jobs in the military if you can find the right ones. So try to do well on your ASVAB test, but just because you don't land whatever your first choice might be because you didn't score as highly as you were planning on, don't beat yourself up over it. Now, the best way to really pass the ASVAB test is to study, just like any other test you'll ever take in any sort of schooling. Now, since we're talking about how to pass the ASVAB, we should probably get into that a little more. I do know that there are a lot of websites that offer free practice ASVAB questions, ones just like the ones you're going to see on the test. So make sure you take advantage of those. There might even be some Quizlets. There's Quizlets of everything nowadays, so those would be good ways to study it. Try to practice all sorts of different ways because you don't know how it's going to be on the test. Honestly, it's been probably 5 or 6 years since I took the ASVAB, so I don't really remember what it was like so much. My knowledge is not fresh on that. But essentially, you are sitting down. It is a computer test where you are answering questions. Unlike the ACT where you would be writing it down and stuff. You are given a piece of paper, which I do believe you can use both sides, blank piece of paper, do some mental math or write any sort of notes that you need to do. And I do believe you are also allowed to go back to previous questions. It should also be said that in almost all cases, you should be going through some sort of recruiter in the branch of the military that you are trying to join. And recruiters are there to help you. Their job is literally to get you to be into the military. So any way that they can be of service to that, they will definitely help you out. So most recruiters should have some sort of maybe links or websites or just different materials that can help you with doing better on the ASVAB that they have access to that maybe general public does not. So definitely reach out to your recruiter and ask them for any advice. Another very useful benefit and easy way to pass the ASVAB is if you are currently in high school or have just gotten out of high school, I would highly recommend taking the ASVAB down for a score. I'm not sure if they really hold scores for a while. I'm not sure if you have to literally be joining like that week or something like that, but I don't know. I might have to do some research on that. But if the scores stay with you, I would definitely recommend taking that as soon as you can, especially after graduating high school, because, you know, the longer you're out of high school, the easier and the quicker all that information goes away from you. Me personally, I just got done with my 4 years of college, and I would probably do a lot more poorly on the ASVAB than I did 5 or 6 years ago when I was a junior in high school, just because I haven't taken high school math classes since I took the ASVAB test, I only had to take one math class throughout all of college, and it had like, I didn't do any math in that class. It just was like correlated somehow to logic and reasoning. So essentially, that's why I say, it's kind of out of everyone's control where you're at in life, how old you are and stuff like that. But if you are towards that part in your life, I would highly recommend just going and taking the ASVAB. And if they don't hold your score, then at least you know what to expect and what it's like. And I'm not sure, you should be able to retake the ASVAB test even after you're in the military, because I've been recently looking at reclassing to a different MOS, and I thought that I wasn't quite at one of the scores that I needed, but turns out I actually was the whole time. But after going through all this hassle, I was doing some of my own research, trying to study for the test, because I thought I was going to have to retake it again. As for the test itself, it is a little bit of a long one. I'm not sure what the average time is, but I would probably say, I want to say probably roughly 2 to 4 hours. It might even go longer than that. I'm not sure if there is a time limit on the ASVAB itself, but they mitigate for people that take very long at test taking. I'm personally one that loves to take my time, because I'd much rather get more questions right than get more wrong just because I decided to rush through a test. So there's no need to rush. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, there's got to be like such a long time before you even get cut off. So don't stress it. You have plenty of time, like way more than you could ever need. And they're used to people that take really long tests. So yeah, there's really not much else to it. Just study. That's the best piece of advice I can give you ultimately, because that you can actually control. You can't control if you're in high school or you're not. It's just, that's something you can't control. But yeah, study as much as you can. Try to do those practice questions. Try to quiz yourself as much as you can. And again, don't stress too much about it. Make sure you have a couple different jobs lined up, so that way if you don't quite get the score for the first job, then you can fall back on maybe 1 or 2 more. And don't put them all where you have to get super high score on the ASVAB just to get any of those jobs. Maybe do like a high, medium, and low, and maybe hopefully that's like your 1, 2, and 3. That would be ideal. So yeah guys, that's really all that I have for you in today's video. I hope you enjoyed the little scenery in the basement, kind of switching up locations of where I film my videos. Hopefully it's not too distracting or anything. I tried to get out all the excess stuff going on in the basement. But anyways guys, yeah, that's all I have for you in today's video. Make sure you drop a like, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.